The unlock pattern on our Android phone is more secure than most of us think, and we would like to dive into how this really works with our Android, and then also dive in with our other security on our phones. Okay, and the first one we'll talk about is the three rules that govern how we can set up our secure patterns. Okay, the first one has to be with a minimum of 4 points. All right, so you can't have less than 4 points for your security patterns. All right, and then the second one is that there should be an intermediate point. All right, that need to be included. For instance, you can connect 1 and 3 without passing through two. So we have 1, 2, 3. Okay, you have to pass through one, you have to pass it through before three. All right, and also a contact pen can only be used once, meaning that you can actually meaning that you have actually the 9 maximum point to use on your patterns or for your security. Now let's see how the possible combination actually works, and then their false acceptance rate. All right, so the first one to be the 4 points. All right, and their possible combination is 1724, and it's having 0.06% of our false acceptance rate. All right, then we have 5 points also having 7,152, having about 0.01% false acceptance rate, and it increases to the eighth one. So the eighth one and the ninth one have the same combination and the same false acceptance rate, with the reason that actually you have to pass through all the eight points. All right, remaining the last, which is the ninth one, before you can be able to use the ninth point. So they all have the same possible combination of 104,704 with a false acceptance rate of 0.007%. All right, and because the points start from 4 to 9, we need to sum up, or we need to see the total combination between all the nine. All right, and when you check the false acceptance rate for all the nine is 0.0003%, with over 389,000 combinations. All right, so those are how best secure our phone is. And before your Android phone can lock when you're using your pattern, it takes about several attempts. For instance, 9 or 10 or less attempts for your phone to get locked. All right, and it's actually impossible, or actually likely impossible, to get through a basic pattern. All right, and as far as you follow a few simple steps for your precautions, you should be able to secure your phones. All right, and the first one is that, which will show when you are actually sliding. All right, so the first one, don't actually leave your fingerprint on your phone when you finish swiping. For instance, when you swipe, you need to clean the surface of your phone. All right, we actually do use those things to actually hack into people's phone, or actually get into people's phone. All right, so after the person finished swiping and leaves the phone, what we do is that we pick and then turn the phone to see how the person was able to use the patterns, and we also follow the same pattern to unlock it. All right, and the second one is that don't allow someone sitting by you to also know your pattern. But how do you do this? When you are setting up your patterns, there is a button that says that you want to show you the pattern of your pattern, all right, whilst you are using it. So actually you have to turn it off at that moment, where nobody around you will be able to know how you are using your pattern. All right, and then stay away from simple ways of getting your patterns, like your first letters. And then the most common one, I think, is the L. Just draw like this, and then that's the end. All right, it's some way, and it's not good actually to actually have those simple ones there, because if you don't know, you'll be easily attacked with that particular one. All right, so comparing these to our iPhones that are having 6 digit pin. All right, they have 4 and 6, but we'll talk about the 6 digit pin. And with the 6 digit pins, you have 10 numbers to choose from, that's 0 to 9. And if you are looking at the combination rate, that's 10 to the power 6. All right, that's 1 million combination possibilities. All right, and the acceptance rate should be 0.001%. All right, the false acceptance rate is 0.001%, and it will be very difficult for someone to actually hack into. And comparing these to the total of our Android patterns, in fact, from the 4 pin to the 9 pin, when you combine them together, which is like 389,000 plus, the pin is having 1 million and a false acceptance rate of 0.001% compared to 0.003% of our Android patterns. All right, now talking about our 2D face scanner on our Android, I think Android came out with that first thing there, right, which is a 2D. I don't know how best that works though, but I think it works on the principles of genetics or resemblance. All right, so before someone should be able to get, or someone be able to unlock your phone with their face ID, I think the person should have a family connections, or you have this genetics or resemblance with the person. And actually you have to take about 1,000 people before you can get one person. All right, so that is about 0.1% before the person should be able to get into it. So the 2D is not that much safer like our patterns and then our 6-digit pin on our iPhone. Then looking at our fingerprint scanner on our iPhones and then at the back of our Androids, that as well have its own mechanisms of how it works. So let's just take it that it will take about 50,000 people to get into your phone. All right, you take about 50,000 people and one person will be able to get into your phone, having a false acceptance rate of 0.002%. And I think that's cool, it's cool. But actually, even that person, the person has to be a family person, have a resemblance, your fingerprint type. We have the whole, we have the wheel. I think that's biological. But that's biology, yeah. So that's biology. All right. So looking at your fingerprint and then the resemblance and then somehow genetics looking the same. All right. Before the person should be able to get into your get access to your fingerprint. Exactly. Now the 3D face ID is also one common one that I have now, and is also having such resemblance like that of our thumbprint or our fingerprint scanner. All right, but the 3D face, because of how it's been made, how it's the things it contains to actually open your phone, actually will give it 1 million. All right, which is 0.00001% false acceptance rate. And I think that's been the best so far because it's a 3D shape. You can turn your face this way to stick, turn this way, and this way. So it also takes your face ID recognitions. And I think that is best to be used. And to compare Android patterns to this one, basically you have to actually root your phone. All right, and this is theoretical, it's not practical. You have to root your phone. When you root your phone, you get access to the basis of your phone. You can do what you want to do with your phone. And rooting your phones, you can give it, let's say, a 6x6 grade patterns, which will give about 100 million more faster or more better than that of our 3D face IDs. All right, but actually our main worry is not about how people can get access to our fingerprint or how they can go through them, but our main worries is about who bypass them or how people can be able to bypass them. And please, if you like this video, a sub to the channel will be very, very interesting, and a like will be also fantastic. All right, so I'll be talking about some basic ways we can be able to actually secure our phones with that. And one thing we need to know is that all our unlock methods are safer. Okay, they are good to use. All right, depending on how best you have set them up. Okay, all right, and then avoid commonly used patterns and pins like my name, like your L shape, your M shape. Then commonly used ones are easily bypassed. All right, and biometric scanners like our face ID and then our thumbprint are more safer and faster than that of our pins and our pins and then our patterns. All right, so if you have any of these on your phones, I wish or I advise that you go for the fingerprint and then your face ID rather than your patterns and then your pins. All right, and then the last one is that our next generation ultrasonic scanners are also coming, which will be more faster and more faster than that of what our 3D ones. All right, so please don't forget to share this video. And before that, before I leave, our giveaway is also coming. I would like you to put down your comments in the comment section the kind of giveaways you want. Either you want money, either you want or which form you should take actually. And that will be a sub. And actually, it's not only for Ghanaians. There are people outside the countries that are like that. All right. So please don't forget to share, and see you in the next video.